my trusty followers. So I haven't given an update in a while because it has just been one thing after another. We've had a very traumatic move. Of course, nothing goes as planned, as I've always say, and it definitely did not. So after we were done boondocking in Pennsylvania and we got everything packed and we headed out, in Ohio we blew a tire and had to pull over and get a new tire. We stayed the night in Tractor Supply parking lot until they opened so we could get a new tire for the camper, and they didn't have 4 new tires, so we were able to get 2, and then we went to the next Tractor Supply and they only had 1, so we ended up with 3 new tires on the camper and started moving down the road. Then about an hour after we got back on the road, my son was driving our truck and trailer, and a tractor trailer passed him and picked up the trailer, and he lost control of it and hit a Jersey barrier and totaled the truck and trailer. And so that night we had to go get a U-Haul to go to the impound where they pulled the truck and trailer and load everything that was in our trailer into the U-Haul and everything in the truck in the U-Haul, because we knew that they were going to end up totaling the truck because it was pretty bad. I was just grateful that my son was alive because I didn't know what happened. All of a sudden traffic stopped. My husband jumped out of the car, pulled over. Of course, we're pulling the camper in the excursion, and my husband pulls over and it says traffic stopped, and jumped out of the truck and started running backwards. And that's when I realized that my son was not behind us. I didn't know what was going on. My son was calling, the phone kept dropping, and he was like, really upset because he had wrecked my husband's truck. But I was more concerned that if he was okay. And so I finally got him to calm down enough to say that he was okay, but the truck was totaled. And of course he had my dog in the car, or in the truck with him, and he's like, oh my gosh, the puppy. And I was like, just make sure she's okay. She slept through the whole thing. She was fine. She slept through the whole thing. She didn't even wake up. So the cop had us go ahead up to the next exit, and once they got everything cleaned up, they brought Ethan up to the next exit, and he's the one who suggested we get a U-Haul and load everything up in the U-Haul so we could continue our move, because we didn't know what the insurance was going to do or anything like that. And of course, with us having all the issues we did with the insurance, whenever we hit, when the door flew open on the outdoor kitchen and the pull took off the door, like, we had all kinds of issues with the insurance. So I knew it wasn't going to be an easy feat. So I told my husband, I said, look, I just want to get a hotel room tonight. After we were done loading up the U-Haul, it was cold, I was tired, we were all tired and cranky. I said, let's just get a hotel room so at least we can take warm showers and we can be warm and we can get something good to eat in the morning and then get back on the road. So that's what we did. We got back on the road, and the excursion wasn't pulling the camper right. It was swaying all over the place, even with our sway bars and everything in place. Now remember, we just bought the excursion because our truck decided that it didn't want to pull the camper because it was a little heavier than it usually is. So we bought the excursion to pull the camper. and we had to do a lot of work on it to get it up to par how it needed to be so we could pull it, but there is a lift kit on it, so it didn't want to pull it right, and it was just one thing after another. And it's now taken me, let's see, we moved in October and it is now April, and it's really taken me this long to talk about it because it was pretty traumatic, and I could have lost my son that day. And I still am so overwhelmed by what all had happened. And then of course we had to deal with the insurance and all the stuff. And so we stopped at my mom's in Illinois on the way, and we stayed there for a couple nights to kind of give us a breather. My brother came up from Missouri with his truck, and he pulled my camper the rest of the way down to Kansas because again it was just, the excursion just wasn't pulling it right, and it was swaying all over the place, and my husband couldn't drive more than like 40 miles an hour on the interstate without, it just losing control. So my brother came, pulled it, and it pulled like a gem on his truck. So we finally got down to Kansas, got the trailer pulled in. It was late, and a couple days later we decided to move the camper, pull the camper out and move it again. And Kansas literally ate our camper. Like it was so stuck in the mud and muck, because the property that my sister-in-law bought was farmland, and it was just mud and muck. So we couldn't really get the camper turned around, so we put it back where it was supposed to be, or where it was, and we've just been living in it like that for now. There's 2 acres across the road that she is letting us borrow until we can figure out what we want to do next. So we're just going to live on her 2 acres. We got an address established for it. We're going to get the camper moved over there shortly. We started building chicken runs for our chickens so we can get our chickens going again. We've hatched a few chickens. The first 8 chickens that I hatched were some eggs from my friend in Pennsylvania, and all 8 of them ended up dying. I think it was just too early to hatch, and they just didn't make it. They made it to like 6 weeks, and then they ended up just dying. I think they got too cold, even though like they had heat lamp and everything. I don't know. We don't know what really happened, but anyways, we got some other eggs from somebody, and we were like, alright, so I was driving and I got to where I'm going, and I'm waiting on my friend from high school to meet me for brunch this morning. So we hatched more chicks, so we have more chicks that hatched from some mystery eggs. I have no idea what they are, but hopefully they are good layers, and we can start selling eggs again like we were. We also have bought a goat. Her name is Unicorn, and she is our milk goat. She gives us about a gallon of milk a day, so our freezer is already full of milk, which is great. So we'll have milk all winter. I've been making goat milk soap, which has been a goal of mine, so I'm pretty excited about that. And my friend just pulled up, so I will continue to record later. So the plan is to now just live in Kansas, although we wanted to hopefully buy some cheaper property in Missouri and homestead in Missouri, but at this point everything's so high priced, and money has just been, we've been jucking out money for everything. We had to buy new vehicles, had to pay for our trailer to be brought from Ohio to Kansas, because the insurance wouldn't release it, and so they wouldn't release it to us because the insurance didn't know if they were going to pay for it or not. But then they were like, well, it goes on homeowners insurance. The insurance was like, it goes on homeowners insurance, not car insurance. And we were like, well, we don't have homeowners insurance because we've been boondocking to wait for you guys to fix our camper, so we hadn't got renter's insurance or anything like established, so we were just in such limbo. So we ended up having to pay $2,000 to have, when they finally released our trailer, to have it transported to us in Kansas, not on top of the $700 to get it out of impound, because the insurance didn't cover anything. Luckily, it was in the impound for 32 days, but they only charged us 10 days because they cut us a break because of everything that had happened. So we had pretty much paid $2,700 to have our trailer, to get our trailer back. And I did a lot of math on whether it would be cheaper to buy another trailer and sell that trailer as it sits, or transport it, whatever. And with the size of the trailer and the type of trailer it was definitely worth us paying the $2,700 to get our trailer back. So we had to we did all that. We found a really great person who was able to transport it for us, and they were just amazing, and we were so thankful for it. So anywho, my sister-in-law has a little bit of land, and she has 2 acres that she's really not using, that's fenced in. So we're just gonna start homesteading there on her 2 acres, and I project us living there for about 2 years. We got our greenhouse up, we got the chicken runs started. We're going to cut off, put a fence up to make like a pasture on half of it, so that way our goat, and hopefully eventually we'll have cow and things like that for meat, that we'll raise, and that way we know that we are getting good meat whenever we do go butcher it. Although we did find in Joplin, Missouri, because we're right by the line, so we go over to Joplin a lot to do grocery shopping and whatnot, but we did find a local butcher there, and we went and bought some meat from them, and it's really good meat. So I'm quite thankful for that, because I don't like buying meat from the grocery store because of, things that they do to it to keep it, red, because red's more appealing to people whenever they eat meat, right? So, if you didn't know, they bleach your meat, and we try to have as little chemicals as possible in our food because of Wade and his, which is our 2-year-old, with all the allergies. So we have to keep everything as natural as possible. So, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be on this journey. So right now we're visiting my dad in Missouri. We came up for a little bit, and we're going to head out and see my mom up in Illinois for a couple days, and then head back. And when we get back, we're going to start working on our I already got seeds growing in our bathroom in the camper under grow lights. So but we're gonna get the greenhouse put completely together and get tables built in there, get our garden plots started. I have elderberry and blackberry bushes that I've got to get planted. So I really see us just staying there for a couple of years until the bottom falls out of the market, and we can really buy some land in Missouri and continue on with what our dream is. But my sister-in-law is great. I absolutely love her, and the kids love her, and she absolutely loves the little kids. She's so excited to have her nephews close. So, you know, I'm quite grateful for the opportunity to be able to have my kids be with their aunt and nieces and nephew, and, you know, be able to know the family. So that was a whole point of moving out here and away from out of Pennsylvania, so that way we could be closer to family and our kids get to really know their family instead of, you know, just seeing them video chat and whatnot. So we try to visit with my family in Missouri and Illinois as much as we can. The boys just absolutely love their Meemaw and Peepaw in Missouri, and their Nana and Great Graham in Illinois, and it's just been such a blessing to be able to give this opportunity to my children. So again, I'm very sad in some ways, but very grateful in other ways. And, you know, every day is a new adventure when it comes to our lives, and that's okay. So we just roll with it, and we do what we can just to survive and live the happy lives that we want to live, being, you know, closer to nature, being closer as a family, and just getting through it. So our journey continues. We're okay. We're getting past all the heartbreak of everything that has happened. You know, like I said, selling before in previous videos, selling our house was the easiest part. Everything that happened afterwards was really hard. But I am just grateful that we are all still together. We're all alive, and we are all just doing the best we can. And that's all we can do in life, just do the best we can. So there is a quick update. I mean, if you follow us on Facebook, you kind of already know our story of what's going on. That's just a quick gist of everything. I might elaborate a little bit more later, but I just wanted to get back to making videos, and hopefully I'll be able to start making more of the videos that I want to make, like showing, you know, the gardening and the canning and the apothecary, making my own tinctures and things like I want to. So yeah, so if you're here for the ride, let's go. But thank you again for following us and supporting us, and everyone that has loved on us through this time. And we are so grateful for you and for everybody, and hopefully we have better things to come. I feel better things coming. So yeah, so continue to follow, and hopefully I can teach you, you can teach me, and we can get back down to the basics and to the old ways, and learn together the things that our forefathers have left for us that we got away from. You know, living paycheck to paycheck is not the way anymore. Learning to live self-sufficiently and to take care of our families and to love on our neighbors and to be proud to be an American, and to tell the government to shove it, because we don't want to live the way they want us to live. We want to live the American dream, because that's how we were raised. So that's what we are hoping to bring more of to our channel. That's what we are hoping to bring more of to, you know, our children, teaching them the better ways to live, not the way that the government wants to indoctrinate our children to live. So again, we're here for it. So thank you for following. I hope y'all have the day you deserve. Be blessed, bless someone else, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.